Hey, you guys, Desmond here,
And LaCresha.
and welcome back to the channel. And today we are here to
Hey.
discuss episode 2 of Canada's Drag Race Canada versus the World. But before we get into it, as always, I got to remind you to like, comment, and subscribe. The love that you've been showing this channel has been amazing. We wanted to continue to grow and also reach our goal of 500 subscribers by the end of the year. So go ahead and subscribe and let's have a good time. So, Miss Creesha May, what did
Yes.
we think of this second episode of Canada's Drag Race, Canada versus the World, the Snatch Summit?
Um, you know, where are the jokes?
I thought this was a pretty decent episode. There were moments where the jokes were not there.
Yeah.
We're
They got a
gonna.
couple chuckles, but
There was a
yeah.
couple chuckles, and one queen. I'm glad she was there because if she wasn't, Lord,
Whew.
Lord. But let's go ahead and share this screen so that we can begin our conversation on the episode. So it's right after Kendall was eliminated. They come up, they read her message on the mirror. They're talking about how they're gonna miss her. I'm gonna miss Kendall too. I really expected her to go
Mhm.
further than what she did. But like I said, you know me, whether if you're playing strategic or fairly, I think Kendall
Mhm.
was the right choice either way. You know what
Right.
I'm saying? But yeah,
Mhm.
so they go sit down, they congratulate Vanity on winning that lip sync.
Mhm.
And they asked Rita, okay, so if you would have won, who would you have sent home? She also chose Kendall.
Kendall.
But she said in her confessional, she's like, and she's a strong competitor. We'll get her out now.
She made top 3.
Yeah, she made top 3. And I'm like, baby, I'm with you. I was on both sides of the minds. Like, she did the worst, and she's the biggest competition. Get her out of here. Get her out of here, honey.
She needs to go.
You gotta go.
And she got to go.
This was Silky's face.
She's
uh,
like,
yeah. So Rita explained that the reason why she kept her is because of the fact that she felt like Stephanie had more to show, because we did see Kendall make it to the top 3 of her season. So we've seen a good chunk of what she has to
mhm.
offer. And
Right.
Vanity was like, for her, it was the conversation about inclusion and representation, and that she's the only Asian queen here. And she understood
Mhm.
how that felt being the only Black queen on UK season 3. And I'm like, both are valid reasons. Both are valid reasons.
Yep.
So let's talk about this moment that has literally blown up Twitter. Victoria
Mm.
Scone basically asked Stephanie Prince on why she used the term fishy in her verse. And she went to explain, why fishy is misogynist and
Mhm.
how someone who has a vagina would find that offensive. And even me, I was sitting there and I'm like, damn, I never even thought of it that way.
Mhm.
Like when Vanessa was explaining and giving her reasoning, because, I personally don't use the term fishy, but, I've been around
Mhm.
drag queens for a good chunk of time now, and fishy is a
Mhm.
term that you hear quite a bit.
Right.
And even after this, I even went and did my own research on the term fishy, and Victoria wasn't wrong. Honestly, Victoria
Mhm.
said it nicely compared to what I read on the term fishy.
Mm.
So it's just like, and I really appreciated Stephanie for being in the moment, understanding what Victoria said and learned from it.
Mhm.
She didn't try to
Right.
defend herself. Well, she did a little bit, She was like, "Oh, well, that's just something, in the Philippines, similar to Ladyboy is what we used, and now we've reclaimed it." And she was like, "Thank you for educating me," because just like Stephanie, I didn't realize how misogynist that term can be.
Right.
So I was like, "Oh, even I learned something."
They.
And a term that I typically don't use is never going to be used for me now. And I just appreciated everyone in that room let Victoria speak
Mhm.
and let Victoria share her feeling towards that term, and they understood and they listened. And even Raja said in the confessional, I don't like people talking about my genitalia either. So I completely understand where Victoria's coming from. I appreciate
Mhm.
I really do appreciate that they were sitting there and they listened to the AFAB queen. I really do.
Right. That they were in the moment enough to acknowledge that it was probably not the best choice.
The only problem that got me was when Vanity was like, okay, well, we won't use this term in front of you. No, don't use the term at all, honey.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, don't use the term at all. It from your vocabulary. And it was just, yeah, a lot of people online, cis, straight, no, I'm sorry, not straight, cis gay men, are throwing a fit saying, why can't we use the term fishy? Blah, blah, this, blah, blah. It's part of drag, blah, 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 blah. Girl. And what gets me is most of y'all probably don't even use the term. You're just mad because you can't be told, you were told that you can't say something. It reminds me of another word we tell white people not to say, and they get all butthurt when we tell them not to say it.
They try to use it anyway.
They try.
I just used it the way you used it. It was a term of endearment. No, that's not how it works.
That's not how that works, honey. So, and I guess that's probably why I heard Victoria. I'm like, okay, I fully understand what you're saying here. I fully understand it. And I fully stand with Victoria. Because, like I said, a lot of them gay white men on Twitter are pissed at Victoria. And then had the nerve to say that she's not part of the community. Honey, this is a lesbian woman we're sitting in front of right here. Do you not understand what the L stands for in LGBT?
It's the first letter.
The first letter. What do you mean she's part of the community? Hey, that just irritates, honey. I had to block a lot of people on Twitter, honey. I had to block a lot of people on Twitter. And my Twitter's been popping off here lately. I'm not sure if you've been noticing, but my Twitter's been popping. Granted, they're not following, but I'm getting a lot of engagement. So, hey, baby steps. So,
baby steps.
Go ahead and follow me on Twitter at Simply Desmond.
I have a lot of bots that follow me.
DSMOND. Follow me. Okay. But yeah, so like, let's respect any person with a vagina. Any person. And let's not use that term anymore. Let's be adults here. Let's be adults. All right. I understand a lot of you are kids.
Let's be just a little mature.
For the adults in the room, let's be adults. Let's be adults. But yeah, Victoria, thank you for standing up right there and letting everyone know, including myself, that that is not an appropriate term to use. So let's move on forward. This is Stephanie acknowledging that she understands what Victoria said and thanked her for educating her on the term. So we move into the next day in the workroom, darling. They come in. I thought this was cute when they were carrying Vanity in. I thought that was really cute. I'm like, yes, you carry the queen in. You carry the queen in.
Yes.
But they're sitting down, they're chatting, and Anita, I love you, Anita, so much, and I hate seeing you struggle because when you were on your season of Down Under, I really felt like they played in your face. I really did. You should have definitely been top 3 for season 1 of Down Under, but they played in your face. And you're here, and I understand you're the only Down Under queen, honey, but I'm gonna need you to get out your head. Because
yes,
as we know, it was not a good week for her.
No.
We need you to get it together, honey. Please, please get it together. Please, because I love you so much, but what you've been doing is just not up to par. And, you know, even here she was stating, you know, I was a little shook week 1. But I'm going to come in and do better this week, which we found out was not true. But yeah, it's just, I hate seeing Anita going through this. And I really hope in episode 3.
Because she was my favorite when we were watching the first season of Down Under.
Definitely one of my favorites. I think she was in both of our tops. I think
she was.
She was. So yeah, like we're rooting for you, honey, but you got to get out that head. I can see it. And it's just like, please get out your head, honey. We're rooting for you. We're all rooting for you.
We're rooting for you.
Now, Isis, honey, she brings up alliances. Honey, ain't nobody finna tell you if they're an alliance.
Exactly. That would not be a smart play.
Maybe if I was in an alliance, I wouldn't say a mumbling word.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I could have been sitting up there teamed up with Vanity and Victoria, and I'll be like, alliances? Who got alliances?
Who?
Not I.
Me, not me.
Not me.
Not I.
Not I, said the cat. Okay.
What a blind man.
None of that. So it's time for RuPaul's message. Hey room. Brooklyn
Hello.
enters the workroom and announces that this week's Maxi Challenge, inspired by the amazing documentary Paris is Burning, the library is officially open because reading is what?
Fundamental.
And baby, we got some illiteracy going on in this bunch.
The library needed to stay closed.
God, dog.
Everybody needs some hooked on phonics.
I'm sitting here like, they could have cut this.
They really could
They
have.
really could have. Like, they
probably
cut
should
season
have.
12. Like, because come to find out, they did do a reading challenge on season 12. It was cut because it was so bad.
Ooh.
It was so bad.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they struggled. Now, Raja had a good joke for Silky.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she had a good, but the rest of them, no.
No.
Thank the Lord Anita was there. I at least chuckled at hers. I'm like, okay, these are
right.
good. These are good.
It was just kind of like a okay.
They're not the best, but honey, compared to everybody else.
Oh, because those were awful.
Oh my goodness. But Brooklyn announces that the winner is Anita Wigley, and she won $2,500.
Hey.
I'm like, come on, money. Yeah. Got the money, yeah. All right, so we're moving onwards, and Brooklyn announced that this week they will be doing the Snatch Summit, which is similar to the Snatch game, but it's going to be in summit form where they're going to ask more. I like the way they did it. I'm like,
right.
I can get behind if we do the Snatch Summit more often. Like, if that's Canada's thing from here on out, doing the Snatch Summit, I think that'll be fun for them.
Yes.
Because I get so tired of, Michelle Visage is so, her hair is so big, she's able to hide blank in it. Girl. But yeah, one thing I really loved about this walkthrough was Brooklyn and Raja's connection, and also Brooklyn and Silky's. Like,
yes, because they're seasoned sisters, right?
Yeah, you can tell that there's real love here for these two queens.
Mm-hmm. And girl, who you think gonna go home? And like Silky said,
one of your Canada girls. I'm like, oh,
shade.
I'm like, yes. And it was just a good kiki between Brooklyn and, Raja and Silky. And I really enjoyed that. I really did.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see, like, don't get me wrong. Yes, she's judging them. She's making decisions on who wins and who's in the bottom. But at the same time, I really enjoy seeing the friendship that you can see that she has with them on display as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I did enjoy that. But it's time for the Snatch Summit. This is our panel of distinguished judges. Brooklyn Heights, Tracy Melchor, and Sarian Fox. Honey, you just love Candace Drag Race, okay? Because you were a special guest judge 2 times on season 3, and now you're back for Versus the World. Honestly, I really like her. So, like, you know how Tracy was a rotating chair with Amanda on season 2? I wouldn't be mad if her and Tracy became the rotating chair going forward. Because I really like Serene Fox. Like, she gives great feedback. Fun. So I wouldn't be mad if they promoted her to a permanent judge and have her and Tracy, or her and
she's
Brad.
really cute and quirky.
Or her and Brad, because for some reason Brad don't want to show up to work.
Okay.
Now he shows up next week, but damn.
Right. Saren, you can take Brad's spot.
So, like, apparently you and Brad can rotate and Tracy could be the permanent spot. I'll be fine with that.
Yes.
I'll be fine.
I'm cool with that.
But yeah, I wouldn't be mad if Sarayan joins the panel. But let's however fast we decide to go. Let's go over these snatchers. Up first, we have Vanity Milan as Spice.
Yes, Boomba.
That's
the only Jamaican word I know.
This was so good. Like, was it great? No, but
no.
Like, this was good.
Yeah, it was better than it could have been.
Yeah, she had the characteristics down. It helped that she is Jamaican, so it's just like,
yes,
this was really good.
She had the language and the slang, and
this was
yes.
Stephanie Princess Cardi B. Rita Baga as Gilda. I thought this was cute. I'm like, I don't
It
know the
was all
drag.
right.
Yeah, I don't know the drag queen she's referencing, but she had a couple jokes in
Mhm.
there. It wasn't bad. I wasn't mad at this at all.
No,
Wasn't mad at this
it
at all.
was not horrible.
No, no. Now, speaking of horrible,
No,
here's Anita Wiglet as Adele.
there
Ah,
was so much wrong with this.
and there was so
The
much
wig was
potential.
not the best.
There was so much potential here because
There
I felt
was.
like she had the characteristic of Adele down, but she just kept bringing up that
Mhm.
damn divorce.
Right. And I'm like, that's not Adele's whole personality.
Yeah, like, yeah, she got divorced, but there's so much more you can
Okay.
build upon. You can build up.
Okay. Because she celebrates Trini culture just like everybody else. She caught a lot of heat for it, but
I
apparently
remember.
she grew up in it.
I remember that was, but that outfit, she knew better. I looked at that, I'm like, girl, just because we lost a few pounds doesn't mean we start putting on some crazy shit, okay?
Look, and the Bantu knots.
Oh, baby, the Bantu knots. Oh my god. Honestly, I think I could have let everything else slide. It was the Bantu knots that really
That's
got
what
me.
it was for me too. The
I'm like,
Bantu knots.
girl,
Like, why? What's with the Bantu knots?
girl, no. Who told you you was playing?
And then, but have
Somebody
you
told you
ever
you was
seen
playing.
Adele in pink?
I think I have. I
I
can't.
don't think I've ever seen Adele in pink.
Uh, I can't think
But
of.
the wig needed to be different. I understand, like the accent would be really hard to do.
But
She
she's
could
done
have
a British
incorporated,
accent before. Because remember, she won with Queen Elizabeth II on Drag Race on Down Under.
yeah. And so I'm just like, you're you needed to step up your accent. The wig needed to be a whole lot better. If she would have maybe threw in some songs, even if you cannot sing, just be like, I'm sorry, love, I'm having a bad day. Something to make it
Honestly,
funny.
if you were gonna do Adele, you should have studied Ginger Minge's Adele because that is how you do Adele, honey. Because Ginger did that.
Yeah.
Ginger did that season 7. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
chef's kiss. But let's move onwards to Silky Nutmeg Ganache's Lizzo. Now with this, I felt like she had the personality of Lizzo down.
Yes,
It just
down the
wasn't
house
funny.
boots.
It just wasn't
No,
funny. There was no jokes, but it was
she
Lizzo.
could not get to the joke. She's long-winded like
Yeah,
me.
like she was Lizzo. It just wasn't funny.
Yeah, she could have threw some about dang times in there.
Yeah, and it really hurt because I really loved Silky's T.S. Madison. That's probably one of my favorite Snatch games on the list of like the
Mm-hmm.
top 10 or 15 or so. But it's just like, ugh. I just agreed with
She could have did
Brooklyn.
so much better.
I agree with Brooklyn. You were Lizzo. There was just no jokes. As trendy as
Right.
people say, where are the jokes?
Yes.
Moving onward to freaking Donatella Versace, portrayed by freaking Isis Couture. 8. Freaking, I love this so much. Oh,
For somebody who was not prepared to play that character, she
she
killed it.
turned it out. And the fact that she bombed her first Snatch game really just made me happy seeing her do so well on this one.
Yep.
And I love that one of her.
Retribution.
Yes, and I love when seeing come back and shine in areas that they struggled before. That's honestly, in my
Mm-hmm.
opinion, what All Stars is for, to see the growth. Look at the growth here.
Yes.
And I loved how one of her answers was a lighter because I've been puffing on this cigarette the whole time and it's not been lit. I'm like, yeah, 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 yeah. I
Mhm.
adored this. This was just so funny. And like you said, for this not to be the one she prepared, just
She killed it.
killed it. It was so good.
Well,
Up next is Victoria Scone as Kim Woodburn.
she could have did so much with
She could have
this.
did so much more. It wasn't bad,
It wasn't horrible.
but it wasn't good either.
It wasn't the best.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cause like they were like, we wanted you to go further. And I'm sitting here like, me too. I was on the edge of my seat, like, just go off.
And like she
Go
had a few
off.
moments that made me chuckle, but I'm like, come on. Like,
She
especially towards
just
the beginning, like when she first started, chuckle. But as we went on,
because she just stayed at the same level. There were no nuances
there
to
was no
it.
peaks and valleys. It was just the same level. I agree. And then finally, we we had Raja O'Hara as you already know, Big Frida.
Ooh.
8.
Yes.
Because I'm one of the
If
few.
I,
Go ahead, honey.
I was gonna say I don't necessarily like know who Big Frida is, but I got the essence of who Big Frida is just from her portrayal. Like I know who she is. I know because you've introduced me, but I just, you know, shush.
How do you not know the Queen of Bounce?
I know who they are.
Now, this is what I was going
Just
to.
another personality.
I was one of the few people who really enjoyed Raja's Latoya Jackson. I thought she did a
Yeah.
great job with it, even though not too many people did. So it was just nice
Mhm.
to see her nail another character. And it was just so good. Like it was funny. She bounced off of everybody else really good. Like it was
Mhm.
just she ate. She ate.
She did great.
So we're back in the workroom. They're sitting there, they're discussing, how they did in Snatch Game, et cetera, et cetera. Then all of a sudden, Brooklyn walks into the workroom. Like Brooklyn
In drag.
in half drag, because you can see where she was, where we see where she is at the end. You can see they were getting there right here.
Mm-hmm.
You can see this was the early stages, and she just put on some jeans. I imagine that that's.
Mm.
But yeah, she walks in and she introduces the Prime Minister of Canada, Justin Trudeau. Oh, I said his last name wrong. Say it again. Say his last name.
Trudeau.
Trudeau.
Justin Trudeau.
I said Trudeau. Trudeau.
Woo.
It was nice.
Oh, Canada.
He is the first world leader to step into any drag race workroom. So super excited
Mm-hmm.
for that. He seemed really personable. Like I really enjoyed the conversation that he had with the queens.
Mm-hmm.
It's just I hate that I know so much about him that just really don't sit right with me. But this was a great conversation, and I would love to see more world leaders step into the workroom. Honey, if we can get the
Obama.
a sitting president or a former living president into the workroom, oh, that would gag the.
Oh, oh my
Oh,
God.
oh, can we get the first lady? Can we get Michelle?
Oh, yes, Michelle.
Oh, she will be a great guest judge for like the very
She
first episode.
would.
Oh, on a year that there's
Oh,
going to be a vote. So 2024, season 16, get Michelle Obama the first episode.
yes. And then the category could be First Lady Realness.
The night of 1,000 Michelle Obamas, I would live for. Oh, I would live for it. I would. I'm not going to lie to you.
Ah!
Here, World of Wonder, we gave you that one. Okay, here, we give you that. Just don't forget
Look,
about us, okay?
because if you put us on your website like you did them two dudes,
That's why I said don't forget about us. If you use our idea, don't forget about us. I would love
we
for us.
will gladly look.
Could you
I
imagine
will
the
do more
gag?
research.
Could you imagine the gag of us being on Wild Percent Plus? You wouldn't be able to tell me shit.
Oh God,
You wouldn't be able to tell me not a damn thing.
nothing,
I'm
nothing.
I'm sorry. You
Absolutely
want Wild
nothing.
Percent Plus? No. Oh, look here.
No, oh sorry.
That's me and Cashapp. Mm-hmm. It is.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
yes, yes.
But yeah. So now let's get to the main stage in Brooklyn Heights. Ma'am.
Brooklyn Michelle Heights.
Ma'am.
She
Ma'am.
said, "I'm gonna make you gag."
I love this from head to toe. Head to
Mhm.
toe. Yeah, this was really good. I just really enjoyed it. This week we have Tracy and Sarayan back, but we are also joined by Priyanka, the winner of
Yes.
season 1 of Canada's Drag Race.
And Priyanka is so beautiful.
So beautiful. So the category is
What's her name?
celestial bodies. Ooh. Now, when I first heard this, I'm
Mm.
like, there's so many ways you can go with this.
Mm-hmm.
But I will say this, there is not one outfit that I hate. I love all
No.
of these outfits. Like, I'm just, spoiler alert, I'm giving toots to everybody. A few people get
Hey.
shoots, a few people get shoots. But
Mm-hmm.
yeah, honey, this was a really fun category. Like, let's just get into it. First is Silky Nutmeg Ganache. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Oh, this was so good. And then having the dragon head as a hand and smoke was actually
Mm-hmm.
coming out of it.
Mm-hmm.
I love the makeup and how it goes into the bodysuit. Like, this was freaking amazing.
Right. I wonder if that was spray painted onto her body.
I wonder because that just it looks amazing. I love this. I love this. And maybe Silky is coming out for I almost said UK, stepping out for Canada versus World and showing them how to do it on a worldwide stage, honey.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, I
She
really
said, "This how I do it,
baby. America. You see the American flag right there?
America,
America. All right now.
America, make America drag again."
It's like, look at the smoke. That's the reason why I got this. And it lights up. I didn't even notice that earlier.
Her bodysuit lit up too.
Yeah, I knew this did it. I didn't get a good shot of it, but like, oh, this was just so good. Up next is Raja D. O'Hara. Again,
Mm-hmm.
this baby, this that's a nasty walk she got.
Yes.
Oh, that's a nasty walk. I'm like, I forgot how
Yes.
nasty that walk was until this episode. I'm like, ooh.
Look, and the only person I've seen in that size heel that has not tripped, fallen, and almost broke their ankle.
That part. I love this. I love this outfit, head to toe. The makeup, like, come on, Raja. I love the
She
pieces
looks
over
like a
her ear. It's
celestial
just
Teletubby.
hallelujah.
Yes.
Up next is Anita freaking Wiglet. Baby, she walked out and this my
Uh,
mouth went,
exactly. I said, "Ooh, okay, okay,
okay,
I see you."
Anita, you kind of
I
dropped the
love it.
ball
It's
last week,
giving
but
1940s.
mhm.
It's yes.
She dropped the ball last week on the runway, but baby, she said, hold on. I picked it right
I,
back up.
I let me just pick this up here really
Hold
quick.
on. You try counting me out, Desmond. I'm still here. Oh,
Yes, yes,
this
yes,
was
yes. See,
so
no,
good.
the bag says Balenciaga.
I love the camp element with the styrofoam wig because down under they're
Yes.
famous for those. It just all this together. It's fashion. It's campy. It's Anita Wiglet. It's so freaking good.
Mhm.
I so good, so good. Up next is Rita Baga. I thought this was gorgeous.
It is, and it glows on her skin.
It's this is a
She's
good
the
color
only
on
one
her
who went
too.
really light.
Yeah. A lot of people were trying to read her online, and I'm like, why? I love for this. And then
The shoes are a little small.
one person brought it to my attention. If a skinny little thing would have wore this, everybody would have sworn this was fashion. And I'm like, baby, that's what it is.
Exactly.
That's what it is because I love this.
Exactly.
And I'm like, I don't get why people didn't like it. And now I'm seeing why. This
Mm-hmm.
was so good. Like, come on, Rita. And I love that this smoked as well. Like, y'all were showing out for this runway.
She said, "The heat, baby, the heat."
And also shout out to Bunny B Fly from Drag Race Thailand. She actually made this, so we want to give a shout out to her. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Apparently, Bunny B Fly makes a lot of material for the Drag Race girls. So how about we get Bunny B Fly on a versus the world, y'all? Okay,
Hey.
so that we can get some shine her direction. Okay,
Mm,
yeah, thank you. All right, up next is Stephanie freaking Prince. This was gorgeous.
yes.
Oh my goodness. Now she tried to say she was the look queen of the season. I'm not sure if I agree with that.
No.
But your look last week and your look this week, this was a good look to go home in.
Yes, it really was.
Unlike
With
what
all
Kendall went home
just
in.
dripping in jewels, honey. I know
Unlike
that thing on her head had to be heavy.
heavy, heavy. You got
You
something
got so
on
heavy,
me.
baby.
But yes, this is really good. This is really good. Now, Vanity Milan. I like this, but compared to everybody else's,
It's basic.
it is a little basic, but I still like it. I
Yeah,
still like
I
it.
love the material.
I love the color. This blue and
Yes.
green really go well on her skin tone.
The peacock colors, yeah.
Yes. And Hello Train, I'm guessing you like it too.
Hey,
It never
jewel
fails.
tones look great on dark chocolate
Like
skin.
it never fails. Every time I turn on the recording, whether if I'm doing this or Sims, a freaking train comes.
Well, baby, we you do live
I
by
don't care.
train.
I don't care.
It is literally yards away from you,
I don't care. I don't
but
care.
I don't hear it. So,
Well, I'm glad you don't hear it, but I do. But anyway, this is a good look. Good look. Up next is Victoria Scone. Bitch, work.
she said, "I am Saturn." What are you talking about?
Oh my! And it was even better when she was hitting the turns and the
Yeah,
rings
she
were
was
flying.
twirling.
I'm like,
She
ooh.
said, "Let me twirl for the girls."
And she said, "Let me show my little ballet training for y'all real quick." I'm like, ooh.
Look, and then and the jaws just went up.
This was just so good. Oh, this is so good. Like I said, they really.
Isis. I saw this on Instagram.
Why must you do this to me, Ice? Oh, sorry. Why must you do this to me, Isis? This is
She
so
said,
freaking good.
why are you gagged? I give it to you every ball.
Every freaking ball. Baby, this is just top great. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
So we have our amazing 8 queens here. Who had your favorite look of the week?
Anita. Anita had my favorite.
Anita. I'm torn between like 3 or 4. But I'm gonna
Just
pick
go ahead and give it to Isis. I know you want to.
honestly, I'm torn between Isis and Victoria. I dropped Anita and I dropped Silky because those were the other two I was just crazy about. But
Mm-hmm.
oh, out of the two, I think I'm gonna give it to Victoria actually.
A Victoria Scone.
Victoria's gone. Like this was just so good. So good. And I love how they got
And
the lights lit
heavy.
up around it. This is like I said, this was a great category. Nobody did bad. Toots all around. And a
Yes.
couple shoots, but still.
And you get a toot. And
And
you
you
get a
get a
toot.
toot.
And you get a toot.
And Brooklyn, we ain't forgot about you. You get a toot as well. But we find out that Rita Baga and Vanity Milan are safe this week,
A
which gives us the tops and bottoms of these here. In the top, we have not Silky, Lord. We have Raja O'Hara and Isis Couture. The remaining 4 are in the bottom, which is Silky, Victoria, Stephanie, and Anita. Me personally, I like it better when there's 3 tops, 3 bottoms.
mm-hmm.
So I would have switched out Silky and had Silky be safe. And I would have put Vanity there and gave her a top placement. I would have.
Yeah. I can see
Because,
that.
yeah, I feel like out of the two between Silky and Victoria, I think Silky did do better. And that runway is just as amazing. So, yeah, I think I would have made Silky
Even
safe.
with the cliffhangers.
Yeah, I think I would have made Silky safe and made Vanity a high placement so that we can have 3 highs, 3 lows. But
Mm-hmm.
we find out that the winners of this week's Snatch Summit is Raja O'Hara and Isis Couture. Do you agree with the winners?
Yes.
I do as well. I do as well. We find out Victoria and Silky are safe. Do you agree with that?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And we find out that our bottom 2 is Anita Wiglet and Stephanie
Mm-hmm.
Prince. I agree with the bottom 2. Do you?
Yes.
I've actually agreed with everything other than switching out Silky with Vanity.
Mm-hmm.
So we go back into the workroom. Everyone's drinking their water. I'm assuming but there's some bubbles in there, so I don't know.
I think it was sparkling water.
Okay, I guess they don't allow them to drink. I don't know, but anyway, they're having their drinks. They're sitting down. Anita is still struggling with the idea that she did bad. So like she really thought she did good this week. I'm like, ma'am,
There's a little bit of delusion setting
It
in.
is. Hopefully she sees this watching back. And that's what she says. She's like, I know when I watch this back, I'll probably see I'm doing worse than what I really am.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah,
Baby, and if you watch us, one, follow us on Instagram, and two, we love you.
we
And
love
this is
you.
just one time you did bad. Well, two times if you count both episodes.
So we have Anita and we have Stephanie's lipstick here. Which lipstick would you have grabbed in this moment?
Stephanie.
Oh, really?
Stephanie, because she was already in the bottom.
I'm gonna look at you playing fair, and I love that.
I mean, if I was gonna play the game, I probably would have got rid of Anita.
Honey, I would have
Just
picked Anita. We're still early enough in the competition for me to play it off. Oh, well, Anita did really bad in the challenge. And I just really thought Stephanie could go further. And, I could play it off as if, yeah, Stephanie was in the bottom. But if you look at it, Anita was low last week. Like she did get some negative critique. So they're kind of sort of one of the same. You know
neck
what I'm
and
saying?
neck.
So I would have played that role, but I would have sent Anita home because, baby, don't let a roast or some sort of other acting or comedy challenge pop up. No, you finna go. You finna go. I don't want you to find your confidence and then all of a sudden you sending bitches home left and right. No, Anita. No. But we go to the main stage where I thought this little moment right here was cute. And it's weird how the makeup works here with Isis's outfit.
Right?
It's so weird. I'm like, it shouldn't work, but it does.
It shouldn't.
But it does.
It works with Raja too, and I was like, how?
How? Like, are our blinders on? Because yeah, I thought it
Like,
worked.
are we blinded by the greatness that is them? And we're just like, oh yeah, it works. Or, I mean, granted, Isis looks like a zombie rocker.
And I live.
But at the same time,
So it's time to mark another song off of my list of songs that I want to see done on Drag Race because they lip sync to Skater Boy by Avril Lavigne. What did we think of this lip sync here?
I thought it was a really good lip sync, and I think Isis kind of did her thing. I know Raja did great as well. There was just something off about her particular performance.
I thought they both did amazing. I didn't see any offness with Raja. I think what it is because it's more of a pop rock song. It's not something you would think
out of her outfit.
You wouldn't think this is something that Raja would typically perform. But I thought she did just as well as Isis. Honestly, I thought they both were going to get the win here.
You know what? I had that sneaky suspicion too.
Like as it was going on, I'm like, we might get the first double win in Canada's history because they have
right. And I was like, oh, who are they both gonna send home? Are you gonna send home both of them?
Baby, like this was a really good lip sync. I thought this moment.
I love Priyanka's reaction. Oh,
I thought that was really funny. But yeah, they ate this lip sync. It was so much fun. Like I've went back and watched this lip sync so many times now. Like they really did such a great job here. They really did. I was torn. I'm like, if it's not going to be a double win, I don't know who they're going to give this to be honest with you. And can we talk about Victoria? Baby, in this moment, she was over there. She was like, I'm like, oh, baby, she was on the stage. Baby, I promise you, if Victoria would have been.
She did that last week too. I was like, okay, you gonna get your chance to lip sync.
If Victoria was in the top two, she would have ate up somebody.
Somebody.
Baby, she was two in the moment right here. She was two in it. But yeah, as you see, I got a lot of screenshots. That's just how much I enjoyed this lip sync.
You see Raja busting out of that outfit.
Yeah, I do, but it didn't. I'm not marking.
Oh no, it was not a critique. That was just an observation.
But yes, this was a fun lip sync. It was. Even the judge was like, yeah.
So
So they nod They make their decision. And we find out that Isis Couture is the winner of this lip sync. Do you agree with that?
Yes.
If there had to been a winner, I guess Isis, it could have been either one for me, and I would have been happy.
Mm-hmm.
But she didn't win $10,000. She actually won a trip, courtesy of Air Canada's vacation. And I'm like, I wonder if they were holding on to this until a Canadian won so they can give this. Because I imagine it's a lot easier to give a Canadian this prize than to give it to somebody else.
Right.
So I'm like,
where the money ain't gonna transfer.
Yeah, so like, well, we got Isis here, but let's go ahead and make her win and give her this.
Let's give her the trip.
Let's give her the trip. But still, it was a trip to somewhere in Mexico. But hey, it was a trip for two as well. So Raja is safe to slay another day. And our bottom two steps up, and Isis made her decision. Stephanie Prince is who she decided to send home.
Making the prediction correct.
What prediction?
That a Canada girl was gonna go home.
Oh, from Silky, yeah. Yes. So as the lipstick was, so it shall be done. Stephanie, you will always be a global phenomenon.
I have no exit line.
I thought that was funny.
I said, finally, some laughs.
That was the funniest thing she's ever said on her 2 seasons.
Woo.
But we find out next week that Brad is back finally. And we're doing a ball. And it's the weather ball. You know, I love a good ball, honey.
Monochrome military jacket.
I know. I love a good ball, honey. I do. Also, Brooklyn,
you know better.
Oh, I can't wait to see this full thing. I love this. I love every piece of this, and I ain't even seen the full thing yet.
I hope it's not pants. If it was pants, it would eat though. Oh my God.
I just love this wig. I love this wavy, wet style. Like this it works for me. This works for me, and it works for her. You can't tell me that don't grow out her scalp. Like it's just
look, whoever does her makeup, like they deserve a raise.
I think Brooklyn states she still does it.
Brooklyn, you can give yourself a raise.
But yes, that's Canada's Drag Race, Canada versus the world. I'm excited for the ball. And this season is slowly turning into like my favorite season of the year. Like, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed UK versus the world, but with UK, it always sits in my spirit that they don't win no money.
Right.
But I'm waiting for them to play the game, honey. That was the one thing I loved about UK versus the world. They played the game.
Yes.
Baby, they were sending the girls home.
Jimbo.
Jimbo, Pangina, and Jenny Jacket all had 2 wins. And they're like, get the hell up out of here. Go get
that way.
But yeah, so hopefully next episode we'll get a cutthroat decision. But yeah, honey, let's go ahead and wrap things up here. Where can they find you on social media?
You can find me at Cresha McGill. That's CRESHAMCGILL on all social media.
And you can find me on all social media platforms at Simply Desmond. That's SIMPLYDESMOND. Thank you so much for spending a piece of your day with us. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we will see y'all later. Bye.